Consciousness is relative as well. Sometimes we're a little more conscious and sometimes we're a little less conscious. But let's look at this wheel in the relationship of how it is and draw the analogies like we were talking about. Whether you're familiar with this or not, I'm going to break it down a little bit. We saw Father Time looking at the clock. This is the Eastern version. Yama is considered to be the god of time. He holds the wheel in his mouth and his hands, in his claws. And there's a lot to this, but fundamentally we see around this exterior, they're what are called the 12 nidanas. You could see them like 12 numbers on a clock, 12 months on the year that go in a cycle. The essence of this is called dependent origination. This, then that. And they explain it in the relationship of how we create and destroy elements inside of our life. That, sense objects, we perceive them, we attach to them, we pursue them, all of these stages like this. So it has a relationship to all of our being in a recurrent fashion. So it does relate to time. It does relate to the year. And in that, we're born or die in one of the 6 regions in the center. Now, in the grand scheme, we look at it like, and the idea is, well, if I'm really good, I'm going to come back as an angel. If I'm bad, I'm going to come back as a slug. It's actually more ordered. But if we understand it in relationship to consciousness, which is continually changing, I'm either more awake or less awake. I'm either more angelic or more demonic. I'm more animalistic or I'm more human. This is continually changing. I think it's a much more valid way of perceiving the wheel of samsara because it's continuous. And it's relative on the hub of my life, which from the tradition of Judeo-Christian, that we fell into this realm of evolutive and devolutive, or good and bad, right? We know that we've fallen in the good and evil, the tree of good and evil, as it plays out in life, so that we see that we fell from what is this 6th frame at the top, the heavenly realm or paradise. That's what we fell from, and we fell into this center of the wheel, and now we're going around and around and around, and we're sometimes more awake, sometimes less awake. And on this wheel, we see this 6th realm is considered heaven or paradise, a superior state. And to the left is the realm of the demigods, or the elements that try to take, and it's hard to see here, but they're trying to take heaven by storm, by desire. By desire, they're fighting to conquer heaven. To the right over here, it's the world that relates more to the human life, where we try to earn heaven through what we do. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The extreme of this desire is this realm down here, which is the realm of animals. It's not just like, oh, I did bad things and now I'm a donkey. Exactly. It's not like that. But what are animals? I think it's fascinating to look at it this way, that an animal, or anything in this world, relates to the Christ, which is the perfect transformation of energy in a given moment. It's chastity. It contains exactly the quantity, quality, and value, or in the East, the tattva, the word thatness. Like the pig is completely thatness of a pig, which has all sorts of qualities, right? But it sums as a perfect transformation of pig-like energy. And it's very interesting because the pig is, they say, very close to the human. So much so that they're grafting and taking organs from pigs and cloning and making, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I don't feel really excited about that. Okay, so we understand that the animal, or all of the animals, are a complete transformation of an energy that is that. And there are animals that are evolving and animals that are devolving relative to the psychological structure that's the key of what that is. So the essence, and why this is important, Gnostic 101, or this is maybe 102 or 103, ego or essence, personality, and what we say is the animal ego or the animal I or desire. That desire is the law in the animal kingdom. We don't see it that way, but that's how it is. That's how lust is used to keep life living. In many of the animal kingdom elements, the more that they can mate or dominate other species, the more they can be in life. But we are called towards something higher. We need to work with something beyond that animal sense of desire and gratification. So we also have, so you get a sense of how that operates, right? And that in time, if the core constitution of what I am, or psychological thought or feeling structures, they take animal form because that is the thatness of what they are. They become that. And Gnostically speaking, part of ourself may degenerate and already go into that lower realm. Because we are more complicated than one animal, if that makes sense. Because those three forces in the middle that are struggling, if we don't resolve the conflict, we tear ourselves apart. And the lust becomes completely polarized, and the pride becomes completely polarized, and they have a gravity and a weight that they descend in that form. Now, on the other side, we have the world of the human realm, and below that, over identification, is the realm of the hungry ghosts, which is seeking complete gratification of desire, but never being able to actually fulfill themselves. That's, if you've heard of the realm of the hungry ghosts, it's the relationship of, they've got really long necks and big stomachs, but long skinny necks, so they can never fill themselves up. But if we're so fixated and identified with ourself and we can't think beyond ourselves, or selfishness, we're in hell. And we're starving, but the soul is eternal, so we don't starve to death. But we die within the psychological structures of gluttony and lust and all of these elements. And just to complete the sixth step, is the lower region, which is called the region of hell, which you can see it has an upper stage, which really we relate to limbo. And what is limbo? It's a state of uncertainty. It's a state of indecision. To be in limbo is to not know. So it's the antechamber to the abyss, but it's also the antechamber to the physical world. That's where essences go when it's not completely decided where they're going to go. And it's sort of a holding space. But in this, you can see that there's this limbo, and then there's 4, 8 hells, which in Buddhism, which this is a Sanskrit or a Hindu wheel, but Buddhism plays as well, that they say that there's 8 hot hells and 8 cold hells. And so the extremes of desire, where lust and very fiery passions also have the antithesis in very cold and distant separation and isolation. So that's how those relate. So you see that there's the limbo and then 8 more regions, which makes the 9 sephira of the abyss. This video is an excerpt from a talk held at the BC Gnostic Center in Vancouver, Canada. Since ancient times, the esoteric teaching of Gnosticism has been conveyed master to disciple in an intimate setting, and therefore anything found written or recorded can only be an exoteric transmission and is meant to inspire and support. Gnosis is ideally experienced in person, with direct and consistent connection between teacher, student, and within a community where ample support, accountability, and collective learning can take place. That being said, we do offer online videos so that everyone may contact these transformative teachings, as well as ongoing online group study and practice to support those sincerely interested in this wisdom, but who are unable to join a group in person at this time. We encourage everyone to find a Gnostic school and community, and may the light of consciousness guide us all.